All right, we're gonna start with some shoulder rolls. So nice and small. Roll those shoulders back. Getting the body warmed up. So today I want you to focus on technique as much as possible. We should do that in every class, but really try in this class, and you should be able to. All right, now go forward. I'm not going to do anything that's so difficult that you can't do the pose or give it your best shot. All right, now make it bigger. You can even sink into your knees if you want. Otherwise, just get those elbows into the movement and reverse. Little bend in the knees. All right, big deep breath in, reach your arm up and over. Nice big side stretch. You still have a little micro bend in the knees. Little tuck of the pelvis. And inhale, as you exhale, switch to the other side. And again, reach over. Inhale, as you exhale, reach to the other side. Slide this arm down your leg. Try to keep your spine as tall as possible, and one more each side. Lean and reach, and lean and reach. All right, and bend the knees, big deep breath in. Exhale, reach it up. And inhale. Exhale, reach it up. Inhale. Exhale, and one more time, inhale, and exhale those arms down. All right, we're gonna go right on into some squats. So I'm gonna turn to the side. Your feet are hip distance apart, and you're just gonna squat down and come up tall. So we're not gonna thrust. You come down and tall, down and tall. And that's a proper way to do a squat. Abs are in. So again, focusing on your technique here. 10 more. Lift those toes up. See if you can get back onto those heels. Abs are in. 3, 2, and hold it. Now, we're going to go up an inch, down an inch. Up and hold, down and hold. Nice and slow. Up and down. Up and down. Good job. Up and down. Starting to get a little burn. Up and down. Up and down. 3, 2, 1, and pulse it out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to singles. Up and down. Up and down. You can do whatever you want with your hands. Be gentle on the knees. So just slide the legs up. No snap of the knee. Using the glutes as much as possible. Ten more. 10. I'm going to count so I don't lose count. 9, 8, 7, 6. Abs are in. 3. My pants are so tight they kind of keep my abs in naturally. All right, hold it, and up an inch, down an inch. Up and hold, down and hold. Up, down, up, down. Good job. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pulse it out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and up. All right, we're gonna stretch. So come to the back of your mat. Big deep breath in and fold yourself down. Just hang, and you can sway. All right, we're gonna come down and do a little hip stretch. So you can either drop onto your knees right now, or you can slowly walk your hands out to a plank and then come into a tabletop. All right, and I'm just gonna sit or stand right up, take my right leg forward, and lean into it. So you'll get a nice big stretch right here. Lean forward. Now you're going to take this hand and lean to the side. Making that stretch a little bit deeper. Now you're going to take this elbow, wrap it around the outside of your leg, and hands come into a prayer. All right, carefully unravel. Oops, and switch sides. So start by leaning forward. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath here. And big reach over. Inhale, as you exhale, bring that elbow to the outside of your leg, hands in prayer if you can. You can stay here if you need to. You just want to get that twist, wring out those toxins. And now we're going to come into a plank. So we're going to do it by tucking our back toes under, bringing our legs straight so we have room, and then you should be able to slide your leg back and hold. So nothing fancy, just a regular plank. Try to hold it. Work those arms. Plank is full body. Just 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and then drop to the knees and go into a child's pose. You can also go into a down dog if you want. I really want to stretch my shoulders right now. I haven't done it for a while, so I'm in a child's pose. All right, and come into a tabletop position. Now you're going to pull your belly button into the sky. And now tailbone goes up, eyes look up. And again, belly button. And down. And belly button. So push into the floor. And down. And up. And down. Now we're going to do some big hip circles. So you're going to bring your hip to one side, come around, and up. Down and around. And reverse. All right, last one. And back to your hands and knees. So your spine is nice and neutral, your abs are in. You're gonna reach your one leg straight out. Tuck toes are slightly pointed. Tap and up. Tap and up. 7, 8, 9, and hold. Now we're gonna circle. So we're gonna, usually I do little circles. We're gonna do like medium size today. Keep your leg nice and straight. Not super big, not the little fast ones. 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. Abs are in. And relax. All right, we're gonna do the other side. So reset if you need to. I usually lose my neutral spine. So I always take a second in between to reset. Reach your leg as long as you can. Toes are pointed. Tap, and up, tap, and up. Nine. Last one, leave it up, and medium circles, 10 in each direction. Really pull in those abs, and reverse. Five more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, child's pose. Reach those arms long. Now we're going to float ourselves into a cobra. So have your legs together in this child's pose, and then we're just going to float on down into a big cobra. Stretch those abs. Ooh. And back into a child's pose. And again, cobra. If it's too hard to have your legs together, if you're feeling this in your back, open those legs wide. I felt that first one in my back a little bit, so I'm changing it. I always go by what I'm feeling. Some days I don't feel it in my back, so today I'm going to change it up. My legs are going to be apart just a little bit. My abs are in, but I really want to get this ab stretch. But I don't want to torque my back to get the ab stretch either. Oh, okay. Now, we're going to come onto our side. So, we're going to work those inner thighs. Cross your top leg over your bottom leg. Now your leg can be down here if you want. I will typically have mine closer because I like to stretch, get the stretch in my glutes a little bit, but that's not necessary. So bring your leg, shoot it back as far as you can, lift it up as high as you can, and just hold and squeeze. Inner thighs, big part of Pilates. Inner and outer thighs. All right, and start to do little circles. And reverse. And hold it, lift it up, squeeze, and then lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, good job. Push yourself up, swing those legs around, and we'll do the other side. So straighten yourself out on this one. You don't have to be a banana. Your leg can be down here or up here. Start by lifting the leg, shoot it back as far as you can without moving your body. Lift it up as high as you can and just squeeze it. Squeeze those inner thighs. Then I always try to straighten out my foot because I'll tend to do it like this. I like to straighten out my foot now, go up. Oh, wait, I started with circles, sorry. I do that every time. And reverse. And hold it up, hold it, and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. All right, now we're gonna come onto our backs for our abs series. First, we're going to hug our knees. So, hug your knees and just lay here with a pretty straight spine. So I always like to do this. It kind of resets my back. Big deep breath in. So you should be able to feel your belly on your thighs, rise up and down. If it's too much to hold on, just hold on like this. Do like a froggy hold. So lots of options. It doesn't have to look like mine. On this exercise anyway. All right, now you're going to do some circles. So you're just going to massage your low back. This should feel really good. And reverse. All right, now both knees open and close. And reverse. All right, we're going to start with some toe taps. So go ahead and put your feet on the floor. So now with toe taps, the most important thing to remember is you're not going to move your pelvis. So you need to pull your pelvic floor in, pull your abs in, get that area nice and tight. Hands go behind the head. Lift one leg up and then the other. So we're going to start here, tap and up, tap and up. And so I don't know if you can tell, but I am only moving from my hips. In other words, I'm not arching my back and moving to get my toe down. Tap. And that's really important on this exercise. So if you start to move and you can only tap a little bit, that's what you're going to do. Tap and tap. Keep going. Tap and tap. One more each side, just like this, and then I'm going to add. Now, with your abs in nice and tight, you're going to scoop your head and shoulders up, and we're going to keep going. Tap and tap. So it's actually a little easier here with the head and shoulders up. It helps to keep the pelvis stable with the head and shoulders up. And tap. Keep going. Tap. And tap, tap, and tap. Let's see, we have 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and set the head down, set the feet down. All right, quick bridge, just stretch out the hip flexors. And roll it down. Now we're going to crisscross. So legs in tabletop, head and shoulders scoop back up again. And we're going to just elbow to knee, nice and slow. Elbow to knee. Elbow to knee. Elbow to knee. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Reach those arms back behind you. Abs are in nice and tight. Big deep breath in. Peel yourself up. Touch those toes. Oh, stretch those legs. This will help reset your spine. Scoop it down. And again, peel yourself up. Woo-hoo-hoo. Touch those toes. And come down, nice and slow. Big deep breath. And if you can't go slow, that's okay. Do your best. Slower is a lot harder in this case. Sometimes I'll roll up to the count of 10. Today, let's try to do it to the count of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. And that'll help you judge on how slow or fast you're going. And down. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that way we'll really get the spine peeled up and peeled down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. All right, now you're going to bring your legs in, scoot your bottom to the side, drop your legs, and then push yourself up. So we're going to come back into a tabletop position. We still need to do a little bit more plank because it's just a full body and it's a great way to get you strong. So as always, plank can be done here. I'm going to pop myself all the way up. Now, to make it harder, I'm going to tap and tap. I'm going to try not to move my hips. Tap and tap. So you really got to have your abs in tight. And tap. Drop to your knees if you need to. Sometimes it's even harder on the knees to keep the body from moving side to side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop to those knees, walk your hands out a little bit, and then we're going to do puppy pose. So you're going to shoot your tailbone up towards the sky. Try to get your forehead onto the mat. All right, now we're going to come back into a plank. We have a little bit of down dog to do. I'll show an alternative if down dog is too much. So you're just going to pop into a plank, come into a down dog. Now, you can easily bend those knees as much as you need to in this down dog. We're not going to hold it for very long. So have those knees bent as much as you want, or do puppy pose. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take one leg up a little bit. As you flatten, you're going to bring that leg in and we're going to come into a pigeon. So we did work our glutes some earlier. So stretch out that muscle back there. It's usually really, really tight. And hold. You can also come down to the forearms if you want. All right, now we got to get to the other side. So you tuck those toes under, straighten your leg, come back into that crouched child or down dog if you need. Otherwise, you're in a full down dog. Lift the other leg up slightly and then pull it in. So you use your abs to do that work. So your abs are really big muscles. In fact, they're some of your biggest ones. They're up there with the glutes. So you can make them do the hard work. Ooh, stretch the hip flex so you're getting here and here. That's why I love this one. I love multitasking. All right, we're going to go into some push-ups. So go ahead and just bring yourself back into a tabletop. I like to do my push-ups on my knees. I feel like I have way better form. So get those heels in towards your bottom as much as you can. We're going to do 10. Down and up. Down. Try to get those shoulder blades as you go down. So you should feel them squeeze. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, back into the puppy pose. Stretch up those shoulders. Now, what we need to do is get ourselves back up into a standing position. So you're going to come into a plank. Now, again, use those abs to help you walk your hands back to your feet and hold it. So stretch those legs, drop the head. Abs are in. You're going to ragdoll yourself up. Reach those arms all the way up. Now, I'm going to turn myself. Arms are up. You're going to inhale. As you exhale, you'll twist to the side. And again, inhale. And exhale, twist to the other side. And again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more each side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Big deep breath in, get a whole inch taller. Exhale those arms down one more time. Big reach. Get taller, taller, taller. And exhale down.